Welcome. Thank you for choosing to settle in and share this quiet journey with me. Find a comfortable position, perhaps close your eyes, and allow the gentle rhythm of your breath to guide you into stillness. My name is Silas, and my home, the Wanderer, carries me across the world, not in search of grand destinations, but of quiet moments, subtle feelings, and the simple beauty found in observing the world unfold at its own pace. It's a path of slow travel, one that invites reflection and a deeper connection to the places we pass through. The familiar hum of the train has been my constant companion through many landscapes, from the sun-drenched hills and tranquil tides of Lisbon to the warm, spice-scented whispers of Marrakesh's hidden courtyards and the gentle coastal light of Melbourne. Each place leaves a unique resonance, a quiet chord that lingers long after the train has moved on. Now, the Wanderer climbs, ascending steadily into the vastness of the Andes, towards a city nestled high among the peaks, where the air itself feels different, thinner, holding whispers of ancient times. Cusco. In the chapters that follow, we will arrive together in this remarkable place. We will feel the coolness of the high-altitude air, sharp and clear against the skin, and notice the intense quality of the sunlight on ancient Inca stones that form the foundations of the city. We will walk slowly along steep, narrow cobblestone streets in neighborhoods like San Blas, observing the textures of time-worn walls and perhaps catching glimpses of vibrant, hand-woven textiles. We will pause to gaze at the surrounding mountain peaks that cradle the valley, seeking out the stillness that lies at the heart of this Andean city. This is an invitation to simply be present, to notice the small details, and to find a quiet space within the unfolding moments, just as I hope to do. Let the steady sound of the journey soothe you as we arrive and explore the unique calm of Cusco together. If you find solace and peace in sharing these travels, perhaps consider liking this recording or subscribing to the channel to join me as the Wanderer continues its gentle path. For now, let us breathe deeply and begin. Chapter 1. Towards the Inca Heart. The steady rhythm of the Wanderer is a familiar comfort, a gentle rocking that has accompanied me across continents. Outside the large window, the landscape climbs relentlessly. Gone are the gentler slopes and wider valleys of the lower lands. Here, the Andes rise in dramatic, imposing folds. The greens are sparser now, replaced by tawny grasses clinging to steep inclines, and the deep, shadowed blues of sharp ravines that plummet out of sight. The scale is immense, humbling, reducing the train to a small, determined presence, inching its way through geological time. The sun, when it breaks through the high, thin clouds, is intensely bright, casting sharp-edged shadows that define the stark beauty of the terrain. I hold a small, simple ceramic cup, feeling the warmth seep into my palms. Inside, the coca tea steams gently, its aroma earthy and slightly grassy. It's a taste I'm becoming accustomed to, a subtle bitterness followed by a mild, pleasant warmth that seems to spread through my chest. Offered by the train staff as we began our ascent, it's said to help with the altitude, a practical measure taken by those who live and travel in these heights for centuries. I take a slow sip, letting the warmth linger, feeling a quiet connection to that ancient wisdom, a simple remedy offered by the land itself. The train rounds a curve, revealing a breathtaking panorama. Terraced fields like giant steps carved by patient hands long ago ascend an impossibly steep mountainside. who lived here? What lives did they lead suspended between the earth and the sky? There's a profound silence embedded in these mountains, a stillness that seems to absorb the sound of the train, holding stories untold. Occasionally, high on a distant ridge, I glimpse shapes that might be llamas or alpacas, grazing with a placid indifference to the sheer drops below them, perfectly adapted to this austere environment. The light shifts constantly. Clouds drift across as the sun painting the mountainsides in shifting patterns of light and shadow. One moment, a peak is bathed in brilliant gold. The next, it's veiled in cool gray. It's a dynamic canvas, ever-changing yet timeless. I lean my forehead against the cool glass of the window, feeling the slight vibration of the engine. The air filtering through the carriage vents feels thinner now, cooler, carrying a different quality, the rarefied atmosphere of the high Andes. My own breathing feels a little shallower, a physical reminder of our steady climb towards the sky. Inside the carriage, the familiar scent of worn leather from my satchel and the polished wood paneling provides a grounding contrast to the wildness outside. The soft clickety-clack of the wheels on the track is a soothing mantra, a consistent rhythm against the epic backdrop. I close my eyes for a moment, just listening, feeling the gentle sway of the train, the warmth of the tea in my hands, the quiet anticipation of arrival. It's in these moments of simple sensory awareness that the journey itself becomes the destination, a space for quiet contemplation. There's a power in this landscape, ancient and enduring. It speaks of resilience, of adaptation, of civilizations that rose and fell, leaving their marks etched into the very bones of the earth. Gazing out at the vast, rugged emptiness, it's easy to feel small, yet strangely connected to something immense and profound. The train continues its climb, a slow, steady pulse through the heart of the mountains, carrying me towards Cusco, the ancient navel of the Inca world, a place I can only begin to imagine. I take another sip of the coca tea. It's more than just a warm drink. It feels like an initiation, a gentle welcome into this high-altitude world. The engine seems to labor slightly on a steeper incline, its rhythm changing pitch, a reminder of the effort involved in reaching these heights. The mountains stand sentinel all around, their peaks sharp against the deepening blue of the afternoon sky. There is a stillness here, yes, but also a powerful latent energy. The journey itself is a form of acclimatization, a gradual immersion into this unique environment. The slowness allows for observation, for feeling the subtle shifts in air pressure, light, and temperature. It encourages a letting go of the urge to rush, to simply be present with the unfolding scenery, the movement of the train, the quiet rhythm of my own breath. We are moving towards the Inca heart, not just geographically, but perhaps in some small way, understanding its spirit through the landscape that shaped it. The anticipation is gentle, a quiet curiosity about what lies ahead. Chapter 2. Wanchaq's Welcome. The train slows, its familiar rhythm easing into a series of gentle clunks and hisses as we glide into Wanchaq Station. Stepping down onto the platform, the difference is immediate and palpable. The air is thin, cool, almost sharp in my lungs, carrying a clarity I haven't felt before. The sunlight, even though the station roof offers partial shade, seems intensely bright, making colors appear more vivid. There's a bustling energy here, different from the grandeur of Retiro in Buenos Aires, more compact perhaps, but vibrant with a unique Andean pulse. Sounds blend together, The calls of vendors, snippets of conversations in Spanish, punctuated by the softer melodic tones of Quechua, the rumble of carts, the hiss of steam from the engine settling after its long climb. I stand for a moment, simply absorbing the sensory input, allowing myself to adjust. People move with purpose around me, many dressed in brightly colored textiles, woven mantas slung over shoulders, hats adorned with intricate patterns. There's a blend of indigenous heritage and modern life, visible in faces, clothing, and the goods being carried. I retrieve my leather satchel, its familiar weight grounding. Moving towards the station exit, I notice the architecture is more functional than ornate, but sturdy, built to withstand the elements. Outside, the city reveals itself under the vast Andean sky. Taxis, mostly small and practical, line the curb. I find one easily, murmuring the address of a pre-booked posada in San Blas. The driver nods, his face weathered, eyes kind, and soon we are moving through the Cusco streets. The ride is a fascinating introduction. The streets are often narrow, paved with uneven stones that jostle the taxi gently. What strikes me most forcefully is the seamless integration of history. Massive, precisely cut Inca foundation stones, smooth and dark, form the base of many buildings, solid and enduring. Above them rise walls of Spanish colonial-style whitewash plaster, carved wooden balconies, terracotta roof tiles. It's not a juxtaposition, but a fusion, layers of history stacked one upon the other, creating a unique architectural language. We climb steadily, the streets growing steeper and narrower as we approach the San Blas neighborhood known for its artisan community. The taxi navigates tight corners with practiced ease. Glimpses into open doorways reveal workshops, courtyards filled with plants, glimpses of daily life unfolding. The air rushing through the open taxi window remains cool and crisp, carrying scents of wood smoke, cooking, and something indefinably earthy, the smell of the high mountains mingling with the city. My initial impression of Cusco is one of resilience and artistry. The city feels ancient, its stones saturated with history, yet it is undeniably alive, vibrant with color and activity. The altitude lends a certain intensity to everything, the light, the colors, even the quiet determination in people's movements. There's a sense of gravity here, not just physical, but historical, a feeling of standing in a place of profound significance. The driver pulls up beside a heavy wooden door set into a whitewashed wall on a steep, narrow street. San Blas, he confirms with a smile. I thank him, paying the fare, the transaction simple and direct. He helps me with my satchel, a small gesture of courtesy. Standing on the cobblestones, looking up at the posada, there's a feeling of having arrived somewhere truly distinct, a place where the past breathes alongside the present. The contrast between the contained, moving world of the wanderer and the open, high-altitude reality of Cusco is stark but invigorating. The journey provided a gentle transition, but stepping out into the city is a full immersion. I take a slow, deliberate breath, feeling the thin air fill my lungs, a physical welcome to this ancient capital nestled among the peaks. The adventure feels different here, quieter perhaps, focused inward as much as outward. Chapter 3, San Blas Sanctuary. The heavy wooden door opens into a small, quiet courtyard. Stone flags pave the ground, and potted flowering plants add splashes of vibrant color against the whitewashed adobe walls. My host, a woman with warm eyes, and a gentle smile greets me softly and leads me up a narrow stone staircase to my room. The air inside the building feels cool and still, a welcome respite from the bright sun outside. The scent of old wood and perhaps a hint of eucalyptus lingers faintly. My room is simple, yet possesses a distinct character. The walls are rough, textured adobe, painted a soft cream color that catches the light warmly. Dark, sturdy wooden beams cross the ceiling. The floor is made of wide wooden planks, slightly uneven underfoot, worn smooth by time. A bed with a brightly colored hand-woven blanket dominates the small space, promising warmth against the cool nights. A small wooden desk and chair sit near the window alongside a simple wardrobe. It feels solid, grounded, echoing the materials of the region. I place my satchel on the bed and slowly begin to unpack, the familiar ritual helping me settle into the new space. My notebook and pen find their place on the desk. My camera rests beside them. Arranging these few essential items feels like anchoring myself, creating a small island of familiarity in this new environment. The process is unhurried, allowing me time to simply be in the room, to feel its atmosphere, its quiet embrace. It doesn't feel like a hotel room. It feels like a temporary sanctuary, a place to rest and reflect. Stepping towards the window, I push open the wooden shutters. The view is breathtaking. Below, the terracotta rooftops of San Blas cascade down the steep hillside like scattered tiles. Beyond them, the city of Cusco spreads across the valley floor, cradled by the surrounding mountains, whose peaks loom immense and protective against the deep blue sky. The sheer scale of the landscape viewed from this height is awe-inspiring. Sounds drift up softly, the distant chime of a church bell, muted voices from the street below, the bark of a dog, faint strains of Andean flute music. I decide to brew another cup of coca tea, using the leaves and hot water provided by my host. The simple act feels grounding, a conscious effort to continue acclimatizing to the altitude. Sitting in the wooden chair by the window, cradling the warm cup, I watch the light change outside. The afternoon sun casts long shadows, deepening the colors of the rooftops and highlighting the textures of the distant mountain slopes. There's a peacefulness to this vantage point, observing the city from a slight remove. This small room, with its simple comforts and stunning view, feels like the perfect base for exploring Cusco. It's quiet, tucked away from the main bustle, yet intrinsically connected to the spirit of the place through its materials and its outlook. The altitude still makes my movements feel slightly deliberate, my breathing a conscious act, encouraging a slower pace, a more mindful presence. It's as if the very air insists on slowing down, on paying attention. Later, as dusk begins to settle, I step out onto the small shared balcony just outside my room. The air grows cooler rapidly as the sun dips behind the peaks. Lights begin to twinkle across the valley, transforming the city into a constellation spread beneath the darkening sky. The mountains become vast, dark silhouettes against the fading light. The silence feels deeper now, punctuated only by the distant city hum. It's a profound sense of peace, standing here above the ancient city, under the vast Andean sky. Returning to my room, the warm glow of the small lamp beside the bed feels inviting. The thick woven blanket promises cozy refuge. I feel a sense of contentment, a quiet excitement about the days ahead. Settling into this San Blas sanctuary, I feel ready to explore Cusco, not as a tourist rushing through sights, but as a quiet observer, seeking out the moments of stillness, the subtle details, the echoes of history held within its stones and its people. The journey continues, inward as much as out. Chapter 4. Cobblestone Canvas, San Blas Stroll. The morning air in San Blas is crisp and invigorating. I step out from the posada, pulling my light jacket a little closer. The sun is already bright, casting sharp shadows down the narrow, winding street. The cobblestones underfoot are uneven, worn smooth in places, challenging any attempt to walk quickly. It encourages a slow, deliberate pace, forcing me to pay attention to each step, to the feel of the ancient stones beneath my worn leather shoes. This inherent slowness feels perfectly aligned with the neighborhood's atmosphere. I begin to wander, letting the steep streets guide me. There are no grand avenues here, only intimate alleyways and staircases connecting different levels of the hillside. The walls rise close on either side, a mixture of exposed Inca stonework at the base, those massive, perfectly fitted, mortarless blocks topped with whitewashed colonial plaster. It's a living tapestry of history, layer upon layer. Colorful wooden doors painted in vibrant blues, greens, and reds punctuate the white walls, each seeming to hold a story. Flower boxes overflow with bright geraniums, adding splashes of life. Turning a corner, I find myself on a small hidden plaza. A simple stone fountain stands silent in the center. A few wooden benches offer places to rest. It's quiet here, away from even the gentle sounds of the main San Blas lanes. I sit for a while, just breathing the cool air, observing the textures, the rough stone of fountain, the smooth plaster of the surrounding houses, the gnarled wood of an old door frame. It feels like stepping back in time, a pocket of tranquility preserved. As I continue my walk, sounds drift from open doorways. The rhythmic tap, tap, tap of a chisel on wood, the soft whir of a potter's wheel, the gentle back and forth scrape of a weaver's loom. San Blas is known for its artisans, and their presence is felt subtly, respectfully. I don't intrude, but pause occasionally, glancing discreetly into workshops where hands are busy creating. There's a quiet dedication in their movements, a focus that seems to resonate with the neighborhood's contemplative spirit. The air sometimes carries the scent of sawdust or linseed oil. The climb is steady, sometimes steep, requiring pauses to catch my breath in the thin air. These pauses become welcome opportunities for observation. Looking back down a narrow lane, the perspective frames a view of the terracotta rooftops below, the distant cathedral spires, or a slice of the surrounding mountains. The play of light and shadow is constant, transforming the textures and colors of the stonework, highlighting details that might otherwise be missed. A carved stone, an unusual door knocker, the intricate pattern of the cobblestones themselves. I notice the small details, the way sunlight filters through the leaves of a potted plant on a balcony, the intricate patterns woven into a small textile hanging in a window, the expressive face of a small stone carving set high into a wall. These aren't grand sights, but they form the subtle fabric of the place, contributing to its unique character. It requires a gentle focus, a willingness to see the beauty in the seemingly mundane, much like observing the details from my train window. There's a peacefulness in this slow exploration, the lack of traffic, the quiet industry of the artisans, The sheer age embedded in the stones, it all contributes to a sense of calm. I feel like an observer moving through a living museum, yet it doesn't feel static. Children's laughter echoes from a hidden courtyard. A woman sweeps her doorstep. Neighbors greet each other softly in Spanish or Quechua. Life unfolds at a human pace, unhurried, connected to the rhythms of the place. Reaching a higher point, I lean against a weathered stone wall, gazing out over the city again. The effort of the climb is rewarded not just by the view, but by the feeling of having earned it, step by mindful step. The cobblestone streets of San Blas are more than just pathways. They're a canvas painted with history, texture, color, and the quiet moments of everyday life. My stroll feels less like sightseeing and more like a gentle immersion, absorbing the unique stillness held within these ancient winding lanes. Chapter 5. Stones of Sacsayhuamán. The journey up to Sacsayhuamán, the vast Inca fortress complex overlooking Cusco, is a gradual ascent, leaving the denser city streets behind for more open spaces. Even from a distance, the scale is hinted at, but nothing prepares you for standing before the walls themselves. I approach slowly, walking across a wide, grassy field towards the massive, zigzagging ramparts. The stones are immense, colossal polygonal blocks fitted together with breathtaking precision, like pieces of a giant complex puzzle. Some are taller than me, their sheer weight almost unimaginable. I reach out and touch the surface of one of the giant stones. It's cool, smooth, yet bears the subtle marks of its shaping and the weathering of centuries. Running my hand over the seamless join between two massive blocks, I marvel at the skill, the patience, the sheer human effort involved. No mortar was used, yet the fit is perfect, a testament to the Inca mastery of stone masonry. Standing so close, dwarfed by their scale, evokes a powerful sense of awe and deep time. I begin to walk along the base of the main walls, following their angular path. The fortress is built on 3 tiered levels, and the walls rise majestically against the bright blue Andean sky. Small wildflowers grow in crevices, adding touches of delicate color to the immense gray and brown stone. The wind whistles gently around the massive structures, a high, thin sound that seems to emphasize the vastness and exposure of the site. It carries the scent of dry grass and earth. Finding a quieter section away from the main clusters of visitors guided through the site, I climb onto a smaller sun-warmed rock overlooking one of the main plazas within the complex. From here, I can gaze down at the sprawling city of Cusco, nestled in the valley below, its terracotta roofs and church spires looking almost miniature from this height. The protective embrace of the surrounding mountains is even more apparent from this vantage point. It's easy to understand why this strategic location was chosen. Sitting here, enveloped by the immense silence of the place, broken only by the wind and the distant cries of birds, allows for reflection. What events unfolded here? What ceremonies were performed? The stones themselves seem to hold echoes of the past, witnesses to history, power, and perhaps conflict. There's a solemnity to Sacsayhuamán, a feeling of reverence for the civilization that conceived and built such a monumental structure high in the Andes. It feels less like ruins and more like a powerful presence enduring through time. I close my eyes for a moment, focusing on the sensations, the warmth of the sun on my face, the coolness of the stone beneath me, the constant whisper of the wind, the faint scent of time crushed underfoot. It's a place that invites stillness, contemplation. The sheer scale forces a shift in perspective, making everyday concerns feel distant and insignificant against the backdrop of centuries and the enduring strength of the mountains and these incredible walls. Later, I explore further, wandering through the different sections of the complex, discovering rock slides polished smooth by time and use, mysterious tunnels and carved stone thrones. Each element sparks curiosity, hinting at purposes now lost to time or only partially understood. The precision of the stonework remains the most compelling feature, a constant source of wonder. How did they move these immense blocks? How did they achieve such perfect fits? The questions hang in the thin air, unanswered. As the afternoon wears on, the light softens, bathing the stones in a warmer golden hue. The shadows lengthen, adding depth and drama to the already impressive structures. Leaving Sacsayhuamán, walking back down towards the city, I carry with me a profound sense of awe. The sheer scale and artistry of the place are unforgettable, but it's the feeling of stillness, the connection to deep history felt among those massive, silent stones that resonates most strongly. It is an enduring testament to human ingenuity and the powerful spirit of the Andes. Chapter 6. Golden Walls, Shadowed Light, Qorikancha. Stepping into the Qorikancha, the Temple of the Sun, now integrated within the colonial structure of the Santo Domingo Convent, is like stepping into a physical embodiment of Cusco's layered history. The transition is immediate. The bright sunlight of the exterior courtyard gives way to the cooler, more subdued atmosphere within the cloisters. The air hangs still, carrying a faint scent of incense and old stone. The dominant sound is the soft echo of footsteps on the polished floors. What immediately captures the eye is the astonishing contrast in stonework. Perfectly smooth, almost luminous dark Inca walls form the foundation and inner structures. The stones are precisely cut, fitting together with invisible seams, showcasing the pinnacle of Inca masonry. They possess a quiet, powerful elegance, built directly upon, around, and sometimes replacing these Inca walls are the arches, columns, and whitewashed plaster of the Spanish colonial convent. The juxtaposition is stark, telling a story of conquest, adaptation, and the fusion of cultures. I walk slowly through the corridors surrounding the central courtyard. Sunlight streams in, illuminating sections of the ancient Inca walls, highlighting their flawless surfaces. It's almost impossible not to reach out and touch them, feeling the cool, dense stone, imagining them as they once were, reputedly covered in sheets of pure gold, gleaming in the Andean sun. That image contrasts sharply with the austerity of the stone today, yet their inherent beauty and precision remain undiminished. They radiate a sense of permanence and profound skill. Within specific rooms off the cloister, entire Inca chambers remain largely intact, incorporated into the convent structure. Standing inside one of these trapezoidal niched rooms, the quality of the stonework is even more apparent. The way the stones curve seamlessly around corners, the slight inward lean of the walls designed for stability, every detail speaks of sophisticated engineering and a deep understanding of materials. The light filtering in through high windows or doorways creates a play of light and shadow, emphasizing the perfect geometry. I find a quiet corner in the courtyard, sitting on a simple stone bench. From here, I can observe the interplay between the two architectural styles, the solid dark lines of Inca construction forming the base, the lighter, more ornate arches of the convent rising above. It feels like a dialogue across centuries, frozen in stone. There's a certain melancholy in knowing the original temple's splendor was dismantled, its gold plundered. Yet there's also resilience in the very endurance of these foundation walls. The atmosphere is one of quiet reverence, partly due to its current function as a religious site, but also stemming from the palpable weight of history. Visitors move slowly, speaking in hushed tones. The air feels thick with stories, with the collision of worldviews and the eventual merging of traditions. I close my eyes briefly, trying to imagine the sounds and sights of this place 5 centuries ago, the Inca priests, the rituals, the gleam of gold, and then contrasting it with the serene, almost monastic quiet of the present. Observing the light is fascinating. As the sun moves across the sky, different sections of the walls are illuminated or fall into shadow. The smooth, dark Inca stone absorbs the light differently than the white plaster of the convent, creating shifting patterns and moods throughout the space. It highlights the textures, the precise angles, the sheer artistry of the original builders. It's a place to linger, to watch the slow passage of light and time reflected in the architecture. Leaving the Qorikancha, stepping back out into the bright Cusco sunlight, the experience stays with me. It's more than just seeing impressive ruins or colonial architecture. It's about feeling the layers of time compressed into one space. The golden walls may be gone, but the power of the original temple endures in its foundations, speaking silently of a lost world, while the shadowed light within the convent evokes a contemplative stillness born from centuries of complex history. It's a poignant, unforgettable fusion. Chapter 7. San Pedro's Gentle Buzz. Entering the San Pedro market is an immersion into the vibrant daily life of Cusco, yet approaching it mindfully allows one to find pockets of calm amidst the activity. I choose a slightly less busy weekday morning. The vast, covered market hall hums with a gentle energy, a murmur of commerce rather than a frantic rush. Light streams in through high windows and openings in the roof, illuminating stalls piled high with an astonishing array of goods. The air is thick with a blend of scents: earthy potatoes, sweet tropical fruits, pungent herbs, roasting meats, fresh bread. My first impression is one of overwhelming abundance and color. I start by walking slowly through the produce sections. Stalls overflow with potatoes in countless shapes, sizes, and colors. Purple, red, yellow, gnarled, smooth, a testament to Peru's rich agricultural heritage. Piles of brightly colored quinoa, kiwicha, and various beans sit alongside pyramids of corn, some with kernels larger and paler than any I've seen before. Exotic fruits, many unfamiliar, gleam under the market lights: spiky cherimoyas, deep purple figs, golden passion fruit. I pause at a stall selling medicinal herbs. Dried leaves, roots, and flowers are bundled neatly or piled loosely, their specific scents mingling in the air. The vendor, an older woman with deeply lined face and keen eyes, presides over her collection with quiet authority. I don't understand the purpose of most herbs, but I appreciate the connection to traditional knowledge, the sense of remedies drawn directly from the earth. There is a respect for nature evident in the careful arrangement and the reverence with which customers make their selections. Moving towards the textile section, the colors become even more intense. Intricately woven blankets, ponchos, hats, and bags are stacked high. The patterns are complex, geometric, or featuring stylized animals and figures rendered in vibrant reds, blues, greens, and yellows derived from natural dyes. I run my fingers gently over the texture of a thick alpaca wool blanket, soft, slightly coarse, undeniably warm. The craftsmanship is evident, each piece representing hours of skilled work, a tradition passed down through generations. I wander past the food stalls where vendors offer local specialties. The aroma of simmering soups, grilling meats, and frying dough fills the air. People sit on simple benches, enjoying hearty meals. While the energy is higher here, it still feels communal and unhurried. I observe the interactions, the easy exchange between vendors and customers. Perhaps I purchase a piece of unfamiliar fruit, maybe a granadilla, its smooth orange shell yielding sweet, translucent pulp filled with edible seeds. Tasting it later, outside the market's main bustle, is a small, quiet discovery. Further exploration reveals sections dedicated to cheeses, breads, juices, made fresh from the piles of fruit, and even household goods and shamanic supplies. Each area has its own distinct character, its own blend of sights, sounds, and smells. I focus on the details, the precise way a butcher cuts meat, the pattern on a ceramic bowl offered for sale, the expressive faces of vendors chatting during a lull, the texture of freshly baked bread. It's these small observations that paint a richer picture than simply scanning the overall scene. The market, while bustling, doesn't feel overwhelming when approached slowly. By focusing on specific stalls, individual items, and quiet interactions, I can appreciate its richness without feeling swept away by the flow. It's a place where the bounty of the Andes is gathered, where traditions are maintained, and where the community connects through the simple act of exchange. There's an authenticity here, a direct link to the land and the people. Leaving the San Pedro market, my senses feel gently stimulated rather than overloaded. The vibrant colors, the varied textures, the blend of earthy and sweet aromas, they create a lasting impression. I carry with me not just the memory of the sights and sounds, but a deeper appreciation for the local culture, the agricultural richness of the region, and the quiet dignity of the people who bring it all together in this lively, essential hub of Cusco life. The gentle buzz fades, leaving a feeling of connection. Chapter 8. Under the cathedral's gaze, Plaza de Armas. Cusco's heart beats in the Plaza de Armas. I find a simple wooden bench near the central fountain, choosing a time in the late afternoon when the harsh midday sun has softened and the crowds have thinned slightly. From here, the full grandeur of the square unfolds. Dominating one side is the immense Cusco Cathedral, its imposing Baroque facade flanked by two massive bell towers. Opposite stands the equally impressive Iglesia de la Compañía de Jesús, another masterpiece of colonial architecture, its intricate stonework glowing warmly in the afternoon light. The scale of the architecture is humbling. Elaborate carvings, statues set in niches, massive wooden doors, every detail speaks of the power and wealth of the era in which they were built. Yet they stand on foundations that hint at the square's pre-Hispanic significance as Huacaipata, the ceremonial center of the Inca capital. Sitting here feels like being at a crossroads of history, witnessing the layers of belief and power that have shaped this place. The air feels charged with this accumulated significance. Colonial arcades line the other two sides of the plaza, their stone columns and covered walkways providing shade and shelter. Small shops, restaurants, and travel agencies occupy the spaces beneath, their signs discreet, maintaining the square's overall aesthetic harmony. People stroll under the arches, pausing to look at displays or simply enjoying the atmosphere. There's a gentle flow of movement, a mix of locals going about their day and visitors soaking in the sights. I focus my attention on the central fountain, its stone figures weathered by time, water splashing softly into the basin. Pigeons gather around its edge, cooing and fluttering. Small, neatly kept garden beds add touches of green and color to the expansive stone plaza. The sound of the water provides a constant, soothing backdrop to the visual spectacle. It's a point of calm within the vastness of the square. As the afternoon progresses, the light changes dramatically. The sun dips lower, casting long shadows from the cathedral and the surrounding buildings across the plaza stones. The surrounding hillsides, which form a natural amphitheater around the city, catch the golden light, their terrace slopes glowing. The sky transitions through shades of blue, orange, and pink. Watching this slow transformation is a profoundly peaceful experience, a reminder of the natural rhythms that frame the city's existence. I observe the people passing through the square, families relaxing on benches, couples walking hand in hand, vendors selling snacks or crafts, children chasing pigeons. There's a sense of community here, a feeling that this is a place for gathering, for connection, for simply being. Even amidst the tourists taking photographs, there's an underlying current of local life unfolding at its own gentle pace. I feel like a quiet observer, part of the scene, yet slightly detached, simply appreciating the moment. Occasionally, the deep, resonant chime of the cathedral's bells rolls across the plaza, marking the passage of time. The sound seems to hang in the thin air, a solemn reminder of the square's enduring spiritual significance. It momentarily stills the gentle murmur of voices and footsteps, drawing attention back to the imposing presence of the church. It's a sound that feels deeply embedded in the identity of Cusco. Sitting here on this simple bench, under the watchful gaze of the centuries-old cathedral, I feel the pulse of Cusco. It's a place of immense historical weight, architectural grandeur, and quiet human moments. The Plaza de Armas is not just a tourist attraction, it's the living, breathing center of the city where past and present converge. As dusk begins to settle and the plaza lights flicker on, casting a warm glow on the stone facades, a profound sense of peace washes over me. This stillness, found even in the city's heart, is a key part of Cusco's unique charm. Chapter 9, Echoes on the Cobblestones. The time has come to gather my few belongings once more back in my simple room in the San Blas Posada. The process of packing feels like a gentle ritual of closure. I fold my clothes slowly, placing them back into my worn leather satchel. Each item seems to carry a faint echo of the past few days, the cool air, the scent of wood smoke, the feeling of ancient stones underfoot. The small, smooth gray stone I picked up near Sacsayhuamán rests in my palm for a moment, a tangible piece of the Andes, before I tuck it carefully into a side pocket. I pause by the window, looking out one last time at the familiar cascade of terracotta rooftops, the valley spread below, and the protective embrace of the mountains. The morning light is clear and bright, illuminating the city in our sharp detail. The sounds drifting up are familiar now. The distant church bells, the murmur of voices from the awakening streets, the faint cry of a street vendor. It's a view that has become a quiet companion during my stay, a constant reminder of where I am. Before closing my satchel, I take out my camera and review a few photographs. One captures the intricate weave of a colorful textile I admired in the San Pedro market. Another frames the massive, perfectly fitted stones of Sacsayhuamán against the deep blue sky. A third shows the play of late afternoon light on the cobblestones of a narrow San Blas alleyway. They are visual anchors, capturing moments of observation, reminders of the textures and light that define Cusco for me. With my packing complete, I take a final slow walk through the immediate neighborhood. The steep cobblestone streets feel familiar now, my feet knowing instinctively where to tread carefully. I pass the small workshops, quiet this early, and nod a silent farewell to the colorful doorways and overflowing flower boxes. The air is still cool, carrying the promise of another bright Andean day. There's a quiet melancholy in leaving, a gentle tug of attachment to this place that has offered so much stillness. I reflect on the essence of my time here. Cusco revealed itself not through grand pronouncements, but through subtle details, the feeling of the thin, high-altitude air, the contrast of ancient Inca stonework beneath colonial arches, the vibrant colors against earthy tones, the quiet dignity of the people, the overwhelming presence of the mountains. It's a place where history is not confined to museums, but is lived daily, embedded in the very fabric of the city. The Andean stillness of the title feels apt, a profound quietude found amidst the weight of history and the vastness of the landscape. Standing for a moment in the small hidden plaza I discovered on my first walk, I listened to the silence, broken only by the chirping of unseen birds. There's a feeling of gratitude for the moments of peace found here, for the gentle pace the city encourages, for the sheer beauty of its setting and its resilience. Cusco doesn't shout. It whispers its stories to those who take the time to listen, to observe, to simply be present within its ancient embrace. It's time to head towards the station. Carrying my satchel, I walk down the winding streets for the last time, each step echoing softly on the stones. The sun warms my back, and the sky above is an impossibly deep blue. I take a final deep breath of the crisp mountain air, trying to hold on to the feeling, the unique atmosphere of this place nestled high in the Andes. The echoes of Cusco, its stillness and its spirit, will travel with me. My host wishes me a safe journey with the same gentle warmth she welcomed me with. A taxi waits, ready to navigate the descent back towards Wanchaq station. As we pull away, I look back at the narrow street, the whitewashed walls, the steep incline disappearing around a corner. A quiet sense of completion settles over me. The Cusco chapter closes, leaving behind a residue of peace and a deep appreciation for the enduring beauty of the Andean world. Chapter 10. The train moves on. Back within the familiar confines of the wanderer, the contrast is immediate. The sealed windows mute the sounds of Wanchaq station, replacing the city's gentle buzz with the soft hum of the train systems. The scent is different too. The familiar blend of aged wood, leather, and the faint aroma of brewed tea replaces the crisp, thin air of Cusco. Settling into my usual armchair by the large window feels like returning to a moving sanctuary, a space designed for observation and reflection. With a gentle lurch, the train begins to move, gliding slowly out of the station. I watch the platform slide away, the faces of waiting passengers blurring into the background. The city of Cusco, cradled in its valley, begins to recede. The terracotta roofs, the church spires, the steep streets of San Blas, they become smaller, part of a wide panorama. The mountains that seemed to loom so close now appear as a majestic backdrop, their peaks sharp against the clear sky. As the wanderer gathers speed, it begins its descent from the high Andes. The landscape outside the window starts to transform in reverse order of the arrival journey. The steep, rugged slopes gradually give way to wider valleys. Vegetation becomes greener, more abundant. The quality of the light seems to subtly change, losing some of the intense clarity of the high altitude, becoming softer, perhaps warmer. The rhythmic clickety-clack of the wheels on the track resumes its steady, soothing beat. I retrieve my notebook and pen from my satchel. Opening it to a fresh page, I pause, looking out the window, gathering my thoughts. What single image or feeling encapsulates Cusco? Perhaps the memory of touching the cool, perfectly smooth stone of an Inca wall at Qorikancha, feeling the weight of centuries beneath my fingertips, or the view from Sacsayhuamán, the vast silence broken only by the wind, gazing down at the ancient city, or simply the feeling of the thin, bright air on my skin during a slow walk through San Blas. I write down a few words: ancient stones, thin air, golden light, woven colors, mountain stillness. Simple phrases, inadequate perhaps, but they serve as anchors for the memories, the sensations. The experience wasn't about collecting facts or ticking off sites. It was about absorbing an atmosphere, finding moments of quiet connection, feeling the profound sense of place. The Andean stillness wasn't just the absence of noise. It was a positive presence, a deep calm emanating from the landscape and its history. Putting the notebook aside, I lean back in my chair, simply watching the scenery glide by. The familiar comfort of the train carriage allows for gentle processing, a quiet digestion of the experiences. The steady movement, the unchanging rhythm of the wheels, creates a space for reflection. Cusco feels both near and far now, a vivid memory held within the ongoing flow of the journey. Its unique blend of solemn history and vibrant life, its dramatic setting, its resilient spirit, these impressions remain. The journey aboard the Wanderer continues. Each destination leaves its mark, adding another layer to the tapestry of experiences woven along the way. Cusco's mark is one of profound history, breathtaking landscapes, and a unique high-altitude tranquility. It was a place that encouraged slowness, observation, and an appreciation for the enduring power of both nature and human ingenuity. The memory feels like a quiet anchor, a point of stillness to revisit internally. As the train moves further away from the high peaks, settling into a gentler rhythm across the changing landscape, I feel a sense of peace. The essence of Cusco, its Andean stillness, doesn't feel left behind entirely. It feels absorbed, carried forward within the quiet space of my traveling home, within the steady, ongoing journey of the Wanderer. The wheels turn, the scenery shifts, and the horizon ahead holds the promise of new landscapes, new moments of quiet discovery. For now, I rest in the gentle motion, letting the rhythm of the tracks soothe me. Train.